Yo guys, up Miss Music and I'm back with another video. Today I'll be giving you guys 3 tips as to how you can grow as an independent artist in today's generation. So the first tip that I have for you guys is to create content on a regular basis. You gotta create shorts and reels to actually make sure that you put out your sound out there. And by this I mean you're gonna create a video of you actually singing your song. Like literally your songs are gonna be playing in the background. You'll obviously mute your actual voice where you're singing through the camera or through the mic, right? And then your song will be playing in the background, and then people will actually reach out to you, and actually you'll gain more followers and subscribers through that. Or you can create a video of you dancing to your song, or ask other people to dance for your song if you're shy. You could do that, and you could actually create lives. You could start going live on YouTube, do live performances of your song and videoize it, or you could actually create music videos. But when you create music videos, you gotta make sure that it's as best as you could possibly make them look, right? That's another thing. You gotta learn the art of editing. Like, it's not complicated, but you just gotta put in the time and effort to learn how it works. And then the second tip that I have for you guys is to actually make sure that your songs are on all music streaming platforms. And by this, I mean that you have to use a digital distributor to make sure that these companies they'll put your song on all digital streaming platforms, right? Such as YouTube Music, such as Spotify, such as Apple Music, and Deezer, and all these other companies that there are. These companies will make sure that whatever streams or whatever views you get from all the other social media platforms, they'll make sure that those views will be converted into streaming royalties for you, which will actually be the money that you make from that particular song on all streaming platforms. Whatever your song is uploaded, let me make an example of someone using your song, right? Someone uses your song in a video where they dance to it on YouTube without your permission. What will happen is that music streaming company will make sure that YouTube's content ID claim program will claim your song. Then that video of them will hit with a copyright strike, right? I'm sure you've seen or heard of this before. Their video will hit with a copyright strike, and then whatever amount of views that video gets will then be converted into streams and royalties for you, right? It will straight be converted into the amount of streams that the song actually has. So that's why it's very important that you make sure that your songs are on all music streaming platforms, because this will actually help you a lot when you want to market and when you want to promote your song. Because think about it, if your song actually takes off on TikTok, or if your song takes off on Facebook or on any of these other social media platforms, it will be easier for someone to find your song when they just go into the TikTok app and they search for your song, right? And then they can create more videos based on your particular song and based on what the trend is of your song. So you gotta make sure, guys, that your song is on all music streaming platforms, and use a digital distributor. There's 2 out there that I highly recommend, and I've been using them for a long time right now, and they're absolutely free. You don't have to pay anything for them, but they do take some sort of time. And one of them is actually you can't just get into the other one, but yeah, I already made a video based on the second one. But the first one is Root Note, guys. You gotta check out Root Note. It's 100% free to use. They take a 15% royalty cut of whatever streams you make, but you get to keep 85% of your royalties. And then the second one is Awal. Awal also takes a 15% royalty cut, but then, as I said, they give you 85%. Your music will be on all streaming platforms. And the bummer part about Awal is not anyone can just get in, right? You gotta have a certain sound per se. They check out your music before they actually allow you to use their services. Before they actually, before they can actually put out your songs out there, they have to hear how your art sounds. And if they're not happy, they might reject you. That's just the reality of things. But if you think your sound is good enough for them, then you can head over to their website. I'm gonna leave a link in the description down below. And I did make a video as to where I review them and where I go through the services and what they provide. And I'll leave a link to that video in the description down below as well. So the last tip that I have for you guys is actually to make sure that your brand as an artist is as good as it can possibly be. And by that I mean your music has to sound as good as it possibly can. I'm not saying you have to go and hire professional engineers. I'm not saying that you have to go buy the most expensive beat. No, I'm just saying that you gotta make all your sound as good as it possibly can, right? You gotta make sure that you mix your song right. You gotta make sure that you master it and use whatever you have to the best of your ability. If you don't have a microphone, you can use an earphone mic, but make sure when it comes to the mixing that you make it sound as good as you possibly can. And another thing is your album covers, right? Your artwork has to look good, because someone won't just press on the album art that is dull, and you gotta make sure that your album art is good. That comes back to the point where everything is of yourself, like, should be good as a brand, right? You have to make sure that everything is as good as it can possibly be, in a sense. Because think about it, if your art ain't good, and if, like, your music ain't really as good as it can be, then people won't really subscribe to your channel. To be honest, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not, because I know this on from my personal experience. 5 years ago, like, I had a lot of views on my channel, but my channel wasn't getting any subscribers. I won't lie to you. My branding was not as good as it could have been, but I tried my best. Obviously, I've learned a lot. I've grown over the years, and my album covers were not as good as they are right now, but as I said, I grew as time went by. That's another thing. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't push yourself too much. And another thing that you gotta make sure that you don't take into consideration is people's negative criticism. If really now, like, everyone is telling you that your music is trash, then that's just the reality of things. But and if you're just doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, and you're not trying to push yourself to to grow as an artist, then at the end of the day, like, it's pointless of doing the same thing for years to come. You gotta make sure that you grow. You gotta make sure that you put in the time, the energy, the work. You gotta make sure that you take a different step, a different approach, be creative in whatever you're doing, so that your art can grow and so that people can actually see that this guy is stepping up and is leveling up, right? And negative criticism will come your way, right? People will talk a lot of bad things about your music if they don't like it, especially if you're starting out. But don't really let that get the best of you, because at the end of the day, we all got to start somewhere. And sometimes your music won't sound the best when you're starting out. Obviously, it will sound like it needs some work, but as time goes by, you'll definitely, your main goal should be to grow and to actually make things, happen for yourself, and to, invest in the art, in your craft, and things will get better that way. But anyways, guys, that's it for me for today. As I said, the 3 tips that I gave you guys for today is to make sure that you create content. Second tip was to make sure that your song is on all streaming platforms and your music in general are on all streaming platforms. And the last but not least tip is to make sure that your art is as good as it possibly can be. With that being said, guys, I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Peace. I'm out. You became my seed, I am